when you're done, there are going to be two people you want to apologize to. That's your spouse and your boss, because neither one of them have had your full attention while you've been training for this thing.
How did you get into marathoning? Why marathon?
You know, a friend of mine and I were talking about running. I was at that point doing 4 or 5 miles a day, as was she, and she asked me if I'd ever thought about doing it, and it struck me as something that was impossible. You know, that's what I told her. Nobody can do a marathon, or I can't do a marathon. But you know, you think about it, people do it. People, thousands and millions of people do it. So it's not impossible. So I trained for it and went out and did my first one out in Oklahoma City. And funny enough, when I called her to tell her, hey, I ran a marathon, her first question was, how far is that?
The 6, what's your fondest marathon moment?
And I'm flat on my back at mile 20. And somebody comes up to me and asks me if I wanted to, you know, do you want a medic? Which was the equivalent of saying, do you want to quit? But at that point, it was about sucking it up and finishing it. You know, I gave it some thought and I said, no, I'm going to finish this thing. And sometimes that's the reward. Sometimes that's the payoff. It's, you know, PRs are great, but sometimes finishing is the reward. So whatever it is I'm doing that's difficult or painful or uncomfortable, I know now tangibly that there's an end to it. I always knew it intellectually, but now I know it in my bones. Quitting is just not an option. And personally, among people I know, my mother, you know, 88 years old and is just about as active as I am. You know, that same don't quit anything mentality. But really, really try to have a good answer when somebody asks you why you do this. You know, ask yourself why you want to do this. It is not for everybody.